Alright, so Saitama's kit is already ready, and that is what we are going to look today because I am so excited to see what he is made. So this is we are in the JP side of the game, but let me just translate this one for you guys, and I hope you can see what is written in here. So let me just zoom this one out. So the skill, it deals 3000% light attribute physical damage, and it increases own skill gauge by 10. So from that, or from the second time onward, each time it is activated, the amount of the skill gauge that is increases will increase by 10, and it can be maxed to 300. So yeah, and I think that is already a pretty explanatory that every time you use the skill of Saitama, it adds 10 arch gauge, so it can be maxed to 300. That is something new for a unit, but you will need to actually activate the skill around 30 times in order for you to maximize. But yeah, that is the skill of Saitama, and I think that is really good for him, especially for long-term battles. And I think this is the first unit that has this kind of skill that every time it used, it is taxed with the arch gauge that he gets. So the arches actually deals 25,000% light attribute physical damage. So enemies break resistance and physical resistance are reduced by 30% for 20 seconds. Well, the skill is kind of unique. It has a break resistance and a physical resistance that will be reduced to the enemy. And this kind of mechanic is that he can be like a supportive unit as well. And because he has this debuff that can provide to the team. So yeah, let's move on with the true art. So the true art deals 60,000% light attribute physical damage. It's not really that high for a true art, but for 20 seconds, it nullifies a total of 8,000 damage. Yeah, it nullifies 8,000 damage taken by all allies and reduces the damage taken by 30%. Yeah, this is what I think. This is a new Saitama. This is not the Saitama that we know, especially that Saitama is only dealing massive damage. But this kind of Saitama, this hero Saitama is actually something to offer in the table, especially like this barrier and 30% damage reduction. This could be a massive changes for Saitama because as we know with the old Saitama, he is actually good only for nuke. But this Saitama has a sustain or like a support value in his kit. So that is in new actually. Alright, so let's move on with the super arts. Alright, so the super arts deals a massive actually. It deals a massive 300,000% light attribute physical damage. And during the super arts, it also ignores the enemies 100% of the enemy's defense. So yeah, he has this capability that can sustain allies and also deal a massive damage as well. Alright, so and I think that his kit is like a Mia from Fate series of the collaboration of Grand Summoners, but this one it deals a higher damage with a barrier itself. Alright, so before we are going to evaluate his skills and abilities, let's go ahead and take a look with the passive abilities as well. So let's see. Okay, so he has actually a good stats out here. So this is his stat. It has a good amount of attacks. And I wanted to see the passive ability. Is it? Yeah, I think this one right here. So let me just translate this one again. Okay, so we have the first ability. It damage boost level 3. and this one it can be activated once Saitama is 120 level. So what it does, it increases the damage by 3% per 100 of his attack. And yeah, he has a high stats out here, and this could be like a change, another change with his mechanic when he deals that massive amount of damage from his super arts. So the second ability is abnormal status resistance. So it increases the resistance from abnormal conditions or status conditions except fate. The unique passive ability of Saitama is at the start of the battle, if the enemy has a boss or present on the field, it increases your own skill gauge by instantly 100 arch gauge. So this is cannot be stacked with other abilities with the same names, but yeah, it has kind of a nuke mechanic still in his kit, not only for sustaining allies and giving it some damage barrier for the team, but this Saitama has also his nuke mechanic in his kit with this ability here. And this is really helpful because he doesn't have any support slot in the equipment. So speaking with equipment, so let's see, let's go back here. Yeah, there you go. He has a 6-star physical slot, 5-star defense, and a 5-star physical that can be changed to a defense, or that has also a defense slot if you max him to a 7-star. So yeah, his unique passive abilities is really helpful in terms of nukes since he doesn't have port equipment slot in his kit. So yeah, what can I say about Saitama? Well, Saitama is really now a balanced hero. Not only just a massive damage from his super arts, but can also give a sustained mechanic in her kit, like supporting allies and by giving a barrier and some 30% damage reduction, which is really great. Although the barrier is only 8,000, but the damage resistance that he have in his true art 30% is already a massive. That is a great support sustain with his kit. So he is made not only for nukes, he also made for the long fights. Remember, his skill is stacked and it can be max up to 300. So once you max that, once you activated the skill, you will get instantly this super art. So it kind of a balance in my opinion. So yeah, so they made this kind of kit of Saitama so that you will use Saitama more often, not just for nukes. I know that a lot of you guys is actually expecting to be more like a damage dealer instead of this kind of a sustain mechanic or a damage dealer in her kit. Well, yeah, as I have said, Saitama's kit is actually balanced and I love it, so that I will use more often Saitama in any fights than just for nuke. So that is for me. And yeah, what can you say about the unit Saitama? Let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys in the next one later.